websites hold information about you and your behavior on the internet?
A cookie is data that a website stores on your device for different purposes, typically. And then it's also very tasty if it's not in computer science.
I think a cookie is something that usually like pop up when you're like on a website that they need like a kind of like authorization for like you to come on their website, but I'm not sure about like what it is.
It's something that you have to accept, like a way to get your personal data that you have to accept to access a website. So it's basically, I would say a mean to like connect to different websites so that they have access to your data.
I don't know how to define it. I would say like it's something that when you're on a website and just like it's an alert or pop-up ad, but I don't know how to define it.
Pour moi, un cookie, c'est des données qui sont prises par un site pour ensuite spécialiser la pub qui apparaît sur nos écrans.
I have no idea.
That depends on the type of cookie. There is certain types of cookies, I think they introduced that rather newly now with like a new version of Chrome, that can only transfer the information and it can only be used by the website that sent it to you in the first place. But for anything else, essentially, it should go back to the website you got it from. But there's this huge problem with third-party cookies, which usually come from advertisers on the website you're using. Typically, that is Facebook, Google, whatever. But also potentially more malicious types, depending on the website you go to. And that's kind of where the real privacy problem comes in, because you don't really know where your data is going.
No idea.
No, I don't know, but I guess ad companies and stuff like that.
No, I don't.
Not at all.
I noticed recently on websites that cookies were more apparent than before. So I'm guessing that the European Union has done something about that recently, but I have no idea.
As far as I know, there are regulations by the European Union, and the American lawmakers also did something around 2011, but I have no idea what they entail specifically.
I have no idea.
No, I don't.
No.
Oui, depuis quelques semaines, il y a dès qu'on ouvre une page sur un site, il y a une information qui apparaît et qu'on est obligé de voir, alors qu'avant c'était des mentions assez légères.
Nope.
Both, typically yes, except for the question about deleting them. There are the type of malicious cookies which tend to be saved in like very odd places that usually you wouldn't store cookies in because they are malicious. So they would, for instance, be put into your into the folder that is usually, for instance, attached when you turn your computer back on, and that way they actually stay at wherever they were downloaded to first forever, unless you do some really deep cleaning and use some special software. But that is not the typical type of cookie you're going to see like in any commercial use. That is usually something which comes fairly close to a virus.
Yes. I think on Chrome you need to go like in the settings and then you can authorize like a cookie for like different websites. That's what I usually do.
Like it used to be easier to delete them, but now I don't know how to do that. I should.
I think you have to go in the settings, but no, I don't know.
Ah oui, bah c'est dans les réglages, mais ça prend trop de temps.
I don't think so, because we don't really know precisely what's being held about ourselves. And we're not given any detail about what's done with the cookies right after. So no.
I'm gonna go with depends. So, for instance, if you do online banking, you need a cookie to stay within your account and so that you can do any transaction. So for that kind of stuff, I guess they're mostly safe, with like certain problems that come with them, but they're mostly safe and they're very useful. But then there is, again, this whole problem with third-party cookies and the advertisement and how they use the data and track you. And that's where I think safety becomes very quickly an issue.
It depends on the website, and it can be like very like disturbing when you like just have a lot of website, you open a lot of website and then there's like a lot of cookies, yes. But I think it depends on the website on which like you are, but sometimes it can be like kind of secure.
I guess yes, it's safe, like in the sense that, like I think it's only given to ads companies.
I don't know. Actually, I know nothing about cookies. So.
Enfin, ça fait toujours un peu peur de voir des messages expliquant sur chaque site, mais je pense que si c'était si problématique, des gens se seraient plaints depuis plus longtemps.
I guess advantages include like efficiency and maybe better recommendations for users. However, this can turn very quickly into a negative process because I'm guessing that's why after we receive emails and personal messages, given our consumption habits and stuff like that.
Well, the first advantage is that, for instance, to stay logged in accounts, so that actually you can like advance in your website and use certain services for which there's typically like a certain authentication required, which means whether that's Netflix, online banking, or even a Google account. And then there is a whole bunch of stuff, for instance, if you want your passwords to be remembered, stuff like that. All that is typically done by cookies, and it's very handy, it's very comfortable. And then, to put it in a rather like cynical way, although it's bad for us, it is very useful for people that want to commercialize on you as a user, because they can track fairly well what you do and adapt ads accordingly. Which, if you're an American and potentially very capitalist, might even be good for you, because then you end up with advertisements that fit your interests.
The advantage of using cookies, well, it can help users to make sure that they're not gonna have any virus, I guess, on the website in which like they are. But the disadvantage is like, I guess it's just a lot of disturbing, just having it all the time on the website.
So obviously the advantage is that you have like more propositions that are fit to what you like, what you searched before. But for me it's also a big disadvantage because I feel kind of not free anymore.
Related to the privacy, I think, of course, because they can monitor what you are looking at. So if you're trying to buy a dress or whatever, they know that you are going to buy it. But and of course you can have problems related, for instance, to your personal like information, such as credit cards, things. Well, I think you have definitely an influence on what you bought or what you are looking at on the internet, because you have like these ads that can pop up because you have this kind of, they know what you were looking at before, so now they're kind of guessing what you want or what you would like to see and to look at. So of course they can influence you in the way you are on the internet and you navigate on the internet.
Parce que ça évite d'avoir des suggestions qui n'ont rien à voir avec nos envies et nos personnalités. Et les désavantages, ça fait que notre attention sur les écrans est toujours demandée. On ne peut pas regarder quelque chose sans voir que quelque chose attire notre regard, et c'est assez pénible.
I would prefer not to have any cookies.
None, I'll say. Definitely.
Allow none.
I will ban like cookies. Like, it's better we found it, I think.
I'm gonna go with none, because all just seems like a hellhole.
No cookies.
Usually I try to delete them, but I haven't really managed to change the settings. And also recently I noticed a lot of websites where if you don't click on agree, you can't actually see the content, so you're kind of forced to agree to the terms.
I usually try to like keep an eye out and have a general idea of what's going on, and maybe like sweep my computer a few times a year, just like make sure there's nothing very malicious. But I don't have the time in my life to go through every single thing I'll ever click on.
I don't pay attention at all. I just accept all the time because I just want to get rid of like the whole thing, like they're asking. Yeah.
I'll say B because I still accept every time, but I feel kind of upset, but I still accept.
Usually, like agree and close the ad and just continue what I was doing.
Always do réponse A.
Always agree.
Yeah, always agree. Because I never take time to read all the conditions.
I'm okay with giving out my personal detail, like my age, my country of residence and stuff like that. But I don't want the system to know about my, again, my consumption habits and stuff I need and stuff I'm looking for.
As much as possible, I'm particularly not fond of my name going out, because I know everything else is fairly hard to protect anyways. So I'm okay with them knowing everything about a person. They don't know who that person is. But that's a very specific like way of tackling it, because I started when I was like 11 and there is no picture of me online. There is no name of me online. I essentially don't exist except for like a certain amount of like synonymous names, like aliases. So that's not recommendable for everyone, but it works.
Say the location, because I feel like it's not secure if like people that I don't know can like see where I am at the moment. But I feel like except like my personal thing that I have, like all my documents that I have, all my pictures I don't know on my computer, that definitely something that I want to hide. But I don't know if they have access to like all these informations with cookies though. I'm not sure about it.
To me, I would not like to have propositions about what I should buy. So my preferences and what I like, I would not like this, to be sure.
Like personal information such as credit card info or all that is related to money. I do, actually, I do it, which is paradoxical because I think it's dangerous, but I do it at the same time because everyone does it. Like.
So when you're on a website and the website asks you to save the information about your bank, you'll save it?
It depends which website, but for instance, in Amazon, of course you do it. Like for instance, when you're booking a train ticket or a flight ticket, I usually also save the information, but not on every website, of course.
Les informations liées aux recherches précédentes. Mais les historiques de... Ouais, c'est ça, mais sinon, moi ça me choque pas, outre mesure, de voir mes informations utilisées. Si, coordonnées bancaires, mais le reste des informations très générales, ça me choque pas.
Je me souviens plus où j'ai vu des cookies récemment.
First off, anything that has a like button from Facebook on it, because it means that the Facebook cookies apply. And that is fairly fascinating when you see where they put them everywhere. It's fairly far-fetched. And then usually as soon as you go to a part of the web which is typically not, let's say, the forefront of internet usage. So big companies tend to like more or less regulate themselves because they don't want to get into legal trouble. But smaller companies that are based in Hong Kong or something, so whether that is like some awful seller Alibaba type thing, or I don't know, some live leak or something on those lines, then I'd be more careful.
Website that I'm not aware of, that I've never been on this website, and it's like kind of like weird, I'll say. You know, sometimes you go like on a website and it doesn't like look secure, and you're kind of worried about like the whole thing.
Websites related to personal information like banks, stuff like this.
That websites that you buy, not Amazon, but like where you're buying stuff. For instance, I don't know, like websites and clothes or something like that, but that you're not really sure of, something like that.
Enfin, les sites typiquement, enfin les sites qui sont pas, qui répondent pas à un design où on se dit c'est un site européen, enfin occidental, bien organisé, etc. Effectivement, les sites de commerce en Asie, etc. Je fais plus attention, mais sans plus.